Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this video we are creating this ruffled striped cake with a sprinkled top tier. You're going to need a 10-inch cake board and some hybrid buttercream frosting. The recipe and demonstration how to create this frosting will be linked in the eye icon up top and the description box below. I'm stacking and filling a 6-inch chocolate cake. I'll also have recipes linked in the description box below for the chocolate cake. These are two cakes that I've baked 6 inches and I bake them in 3-inch tall cake tins. I then cut them in half before stacking them all. Create a thin layer of frosting all around your cake to trap in any crumbs. Doesn't have to be too thick, we are going to go in later with a second layer of frosting. Smooth it out with your bench scrapers. I do sell these on my website, rosiesdessertspot.com. Once it's nice and neat, bring that lip of frosting to the center. I like to use my larger spatulas when clearing up the top. Into the fridge she goes to set for at least 20 minutes, and in the meantime we'll work with our second tier. This is a 4-inch cake, and you can't see it, but it's sitting on a 4-inch cake board that's stuck to that white board that you see. Follow the exact same steps, filling, creating the crumb coat and smoothing it all down. And since it is a small cake, you might want to heat your frosting in the microwave for 5 seconds so it doesn't dance around on your tabletop. Into the fridge she goes to set for 20 minutes. Once set, apply a second layer of frosting. This is what our sprinkles are going to stick to. It doesn't have to be thick at all, just thick enough so you can't see through to the crumb coat and it looks neat, so that when you look through the sprinkles, it just kind of camouflages and it's all neat. Angle your cake towards the bowl that has all the sprinkles. Grab a handful, press it at the base, and then move your hand up the cake, spreading the sprinkles all the way up to the very top and over slightly to create a border. Move the top sprinkles all the way out to that border and rotate your cake so that the sprinkles fall back into the bowl. Once it's all covered, pop it into the freezer this time for at least an hour. Again, creating a smooth, clean finish on our 6-inch cake. And I've stuck 3 of these toothpicks to my scraper and I've spaced them out evenly. Hold your scraper against the cake board and then turn your turntable, keeping the scraper as steady as possible. This will separate your cake into 4 different sections and that'll be used as a guide for when we pipe on our ruffles. I've coloured some white frosting with a bit of pink gel food colour, and I'm going onto the cake with a 104 piping tip. If you can tell, I've got this skinny end of the piping tip facing outwards and the thicker end of the piping tip constantly touching the cake as I pipe. And the reason why you want it to be touching the cake is that the ruffle attaches to the cake. If you have it slightly lifted off the cake, it's going to end up collapsing. So you want to keep an eye on that. For a more realistic ruffle look, tilt your piping bag or your piping tip up and down, left to right, side to side, and it just creates a bit more of a realistic and more lifelike looking ruffle. In the second row, I've gone in with white frosting and I'm basically just alternating these two colors, being very mindful to line it up with those lines that we created with the toothpicks. For the very last row, the line becomes the very top edge of the cake and I'm stopping it just on the edge. Then I'm creating a bit of a row right up top and I'm bringing that row closer and closer to the center of the cake, but I want to leave a space in the middle to fit our top tier, which is the 4-inch cake. Pop this tier into the fridge to set completely, and then when you're ready, you'll want to add in your dowels. You could use bubble tea straws or wooden dowels. I'd say wooden dowels if you can, but I have a whole bunch of bubble tea straws left over, so I'm just going to get rid of these. You want to push them until they touch the cake board, give them a bit of a wriggle, pull it out of the cake and cut where you see the frosting, that way it's flush with the top of your cake. Release your now frozen cake from its cake board. There is a 4-inch cake board underneath this 4-inch cake, by the way, and that's going to be stuck to your bottom tier with a bit of frosting. Add on your final decorations. I've chosen to go in with some fake flowers, and then I've piped just 1 row to seal it all off and make it look a bit more uniform. And you're done! This is a very fun little design. It's kind of like the fondant ruffles, only using buttercream, takes a lot less time and it's way easier. I honestly think this is beginner level stuff, so if you want to give it a go, a little bit of practice goes a long way. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you do recreate this, please tag us, #Rosie's Dessert Spot, and we'll catch you again in the next one.